Just ain't nothing to
Um,
it but to do it.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I learn better that way, just like jumping in. Should we go into introductions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do
Um,
this thing.
okay.
My name's Tori. I work full time. I'm a mom. Yeah.
That will help.
Amber just
Okay.
choked a little on her coffee. No big deal.
I'm just dying. It's fine. Okay,
Speaking of
so
Amber, this is her.
I am also a mom who works full time.
Mhm.
And we are just two out of touch millennial moms who thought that they could start a podcast. Like, what? It's hard.
And it has
It
proven to be
actually
kind
is
of
hard.
difficult. Yeah, it is
FYI,
though.
generally the things we talk about, we have no business passing judgment on, but we're going to do it anyway.
We have no authority on these things, but here we
None.
are, and
Yeah.
we're gonna judge like we do have authority on it.
Correct.
So yeah, we're pretty much just doing a podcast, just as like a creative outlet,
Yeah.
and just for fun. We work, and this is just like a fun outlet for us.
Yeah.
So what's been?
And we would be having this same conversation anyway if it wasn't recorded. So
yes,
now it's just recorded for history.
for the records.
Yeah, for the records. Okay. Yeah. So what's going on this week?
Well, I had a friend last night remind me that my birthday is in now 10 days.
Math was really hard. I was like, it's 9 days, it's 11, 10. That feels better to me. I'm glad.
It feels worse to me. 11 felt a little bit better. The 10 is hurting.
Well, the 10 is looming. It's looming. So
we're almost in single digits away from my double digit birthday.
Yeah. So we're just getting old over here.
Yeah. And it's just weird. I still feel 30, and I also still feel like COVID was yesterday, or at least last year. Like, we're still in the year just after COVID, and somehow another election is coming up.
And at different points in my life, if you asked me what 20 years ago was, I'd be like 1980, and I still think I'm there. Like 20 years 100%. Ago was still 1980.
Oh my God.
Not 2004. So as millennials, I feel like we're just going to keep getting more and more out of touch. Like, because of that. I don't know. Time is a really weird concept.
It's a thief, honestly.
Truly. So what are we going to do to celebrate your birthday?
Oh my God, I haven't even thought about that. Celebrating it?
Right. Just trying to survive it.
Yeah, I kind of just realized it was even happening so soon.
Right. You did say you just realized yesterday because a friend, wink.
That's Amber, by the way.
It was me. I'm the friend. Well, I just can't believe. Do you not have a calendar in your house? Because I'm going to get you one.
Oh, no, I do. Not only, well, not like hanging up in my house, no, but I have one hanging in my office, and then I have two of them on my phone, a work one and a personal between me and my husband one. And the work one, like 4 people do have on their calendar Tori's birthday.
Yes. Well,
so I guess it's kind of been there. I've just been like kind of turning away
just
from it.
Choosing to ignore. You're like, there are other calendars out there I can follow. It doesn't have to be this one.
It doesn't.
I just don't feel complete as a person if I don't like feel like fill that out at the beginning of every month. Like, I need to know, because how many times have I missed my mother-in-law's birthday? The answer's a lot.
Oh, I couldn't even begin to tell you my mother-in-law's birthday.
Well, I can, because it's on my calendar. It's February 19th. There's a lot of birthdays.
There is some relief there. I could see that.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, I feel like I used to use Facebook. I got too used to being able to use Facebook as birthday reminders because, it tells you when it's someone's birthday. And now I don't really go on Facebook ever.
I actually have a friend who, like, I just saw her for a funeral, actually, but she lives in Virginia, and she got off of Facebook, and she was telling I was sitting there next to her, and she's telling one of our other friends how, like, no one talks to her anymore because she's not on Facebook, and it made me
What?
so sad. Yeah, and I realized I'm one of those people. Like, she's like, "Pe people will send me a
You do
text every once in a
communicate
while."
via Facebook Messenger.
A
You
lot.
do. I
Yes.
ignore those. Like, I never open it.
And her birthday
It's
too, like, I don't know it because she's not on Facebook anymore. So I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta do better at reaching out to my non-social media friends."
Well, it is also an interesting dynamic that we have with our friendships now where you can have 10 different conversations at any point because you've got an Instagram thread, you've got like all the threads. There's something
Mhm.
every app you have like a messaging capability.
Yeah,
It's
someone's
when is it too much?
now.
There's always so many different conversations happening, and they're generally happening at the same time. Like, you'll
Yes.
be texting your friends, but you're also updating them and sending them, like,
Mhm.
Instagram reels and Facebook messages. Like, it's
And
insane.
the friends that I talk to on Messenger, it seems so wild for me to send them a text. Like,
Yeah.
almost unhinged, honestly. Like, and every time I, like, feel like I do want to text them or something, I'm like, I don't know, I haven't texted them in so long, like, is this even their phone number anymore? Am
Right,
I
like,
gonna
is this
text a
avenue
random person?
appropriate? Are they okay with this even? Like, is
Like,
this
yeah,
fair to them?
we
You
have
know?
the
Like, if you communicate
Swifties.
via one avenue and then you switch it up on them.
Are they even gonna see it?
And
Um,
that's the other thing, the apps I feel like make it even easier for you to know if somebody's seen something where like in texting you can I know you can turn all that stuff off in the apps too, but like most people don't have their read receipts on their text messages, but a lot of time they'll have it
I
on.
do.
I know, you're so chaotic. I can't believe you have read receipts on. But
Yeah,
it's
I have no shame.
also you're like, I read it, I'm not responding.
Yeah, I'm too busy right now. I'll get back to
Yeah.
it, hopefully.
I'll come back to this maybe,
I
like
try to.
3 to 5 business days,
I do
maybe.
hate that when I, like, leave someone on red who I didn't mean to, which happens often, but
All the time.
mom
I
life.
I always think I texted someone back because I replied in my head, and, like, me
Yeah.
talking to my personalities is not the same as me responding to a text message. Just my internal dialogue only.
So, what are we consuming this week? What kind of books? I know you're big in books.
I am really mad at myself for not be there are just phases that I go through with reading where I consume a shitload, and
Mhm.
then I won't read at all. And I don't like that. I like reading. So I would rather myself not be so flaky about it. But I am reading a fantasy series called Crescent City. And it is pretty popular, I would say. Like the author is pretty popular. And the third book in the series just came out a few weeks ago. I've had it sitting on my bookshelf and it's taunting me, but I can't start it yet because the second book was so detailed that I don't remember it all because I read it last year, I think, or the year before.
Mhm.
It's been at least a year since I read it. I don't remember when that one came out, but yeah, I think it was last year that I read it. And there's just so many details that I've forgotten that I have to reread it so that I can really enjoy the third book. But like I said, it is just sitting there taunting me to
And it's
pick it
always
up.
hard to do the reread because it's like you do remember some of it, so it's almost like a chore.
Yes,
Like you're kind of
it
making
is a chore.
yourself, but
I
you have
don't
to do
want to
it
do
to
it.
get to the next
Yeah.
one.
I feel like if I don't do it, I'm going to be confused at a lot of like important parts and I'm going to miss things. And I don't want to do that because these books are they're really long. They're like 800 pages or
Oh
something.
my
So
gosh.
it's
Only
a
Harry Potter's
commitment.
worth that.
No, I am telling you, you would love it. It
Is
is
it
my favorite fantasy series. Um, this particular one from this author is like her newest series. She has other series that are really popular as well.
is
And I
it
love Go ahead.
Does it get romantic?
There is romance, but it's a fantasy. It's more fantasy than romance. This series.
Okay.
Some of her other
Okay.
series, I feel like it's like half and half.
Yeah, the ones that are
This
super
one's
romancy, I'm out. But I do
it's
like fantasy a lot.
it's really cool. And this one is the most unique, I think, because it's a modern day world. So even though they're like fairies and magical creatures and stuff like that, they have cell phones and like it's in a like more modern day setting. And I feel like that doesn't usually happen. Normally when you're reading fantasy, you're in like a castle or
Right.
something like really like
Game of Thrones
magical.
land. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't always I personally haven't come across many fantasy series that were more modern, but I've only been reading this genre specifically for like a few years, so I feel like there's still a lot that I haven't uncovered. So yeah, that book is just taunting me and I feel like I'm just going to give up and start it because I'm impatient, but hopefully I can
I
stick
support
out
you.
the reread.
How far through it are you?
I'm halfway through the
Oh,
reread.
you're 400 pages in. You got this.
Yeah, and it is a good book, like, the story is good, and honestly, I think I consumed it the first time so fast that I actually did miss details that now I'm like, "Oh, wait, I'm picking up on connections that I didn't get the first time." So,
Right.
yeah, I just think it's super fun, and I love it, so, yeah, that's what I'm
Nice.
reading. And then watching is just Vanderpump. It's just kind of sad as like a fellow old lady watching them get old and
Oh my
still
gosh,
having the
yeah.
same like types of arguments that they had 10 years ago. I don't know. Part of me
Mhm.
just feels really sad watching them this season. It's like
I
they've been
just
through it. Like they're like, you
yeah.
know, they've had
And
some
they're
shit happen.
it's so different than when it started too. None of them are working, like, in the restaurants and
Right.
stuff now. It's like, what is
Right.
Lisa I just said Lisa.
Lisa
What
Vanderpump. That should be her name.
like,
Lisa
what even is her role in it?
That is such an interesting point. Like, what is her dynamic? At this point, I feel like I look at her more as like their mentor
That's what it
because
seems like, yeah.
you're right. Like, none of them obviously work under her anymore. Well, I mean, Tom and Tom, I guess, but they're partners. They don't work under her.
Mhm.
She's not their boss necessarily, I guess. But yeah.
So so the most recent episode's episode 3, and that's when, Sheena and Tom had that really cringy
Oh
conversation.
my God. Okay. I know it's reality TV, and we know from like watching The Hills that like shit is staged sometimes. I
Mhm.
totally get that. As a viewer, you know that like some of this stuff is fabricated, right? But with Vanderpump, I feel like it always did seem like really genuinely to be showing what was going on. I mean, obviously, we don't know one way or another, but
Mhm.
that scene was so painful to watch because it was so obviously staged. Sheena's a terrible actress.
She
Um,
is
like when she was walking past and he was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And she had just like this look in her eyes, just like deer in the headlights. Like that, as soon as I saw her face, I was like, they're acting. They
yeah. She
it
was definitely it was like she's reading a script and it said, "Pause for dramatic effect here."
Yes. It
Yeah.
it was like you could hear the note from the director, like, saying that, you know? Like,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
just felt so staged. It was so strange.
She needs to stop playing both sides, and I understand that she's, like, trying to just be friends with everyone, which is okay, but, like, just be open about that. Don't go and hide behind the restaurant and let your other friends find it out. I don't know. We don't know. Maybe she told Ariana, but it
I
just seemed
just think
odd.
she's really terrified to cross anybody because everyone has had a problem with her because she's
Yeah.
like she does it to herself. She's talking about how Sandoval put himself in this position. Sheena also like puts herself in these positions where like
Mhm.
I don't know, she just always inserts herself into everything. I was watching a clip of some type of interview that they were doing to promote Vanderpump, and it was James, Lala, and Sheena. And they were asked about like how Ariana is kind of acting as queen of the group since Scandoval happened, and they were asked like, do you think she should be able to like act like that, basically, like, do you approve of her behavior, essentially? And it was so funny because Lala was like, I definitely think like this is her time, and she's always like kind of just been the chill girl in the background. I think she should totally take this moment to shine. And James agreed, and Scheana even agreed. But then Sheena's like, because Lala says something like how every season there's there's a new queen or something, like, somebody goes through something and they're the queen of the moment or whatever. And Scheana chimes in and she's like, it's never me though. I'm never the queen. And it's just like, yeah, but I did really enjoy watching her sing Good as Gold as an emo song. I thought
that was kind of cool. And it sounded better than
oh yeah,
than the originals. I feel like she was trying to be the best singer in the world, and now I feel like she's kind of like, well, I'm not the best singer in the world, but this is what I'm doing. And I think that that's a better perspective.
It's way more commendable than like you trying to be. I don't even know who she's. What did she say? She wanted to be like Fergie. I feel like she just said this in an episode. Remember. She said like she didn't want to be the quintessential like pop girl, but then she named like 2 pop artists. So it was like, I don't think you know. Period. That's a full stop.
What about Schwartz attacking Ariana about her ego?
It just goes to show you, yes, it just goes to show you the audacity of men. Like, can you even believe Schwartz trying to talk to anybody about their ego? Like, your best friend has the biggest ego of them all. And like, why should Ariana sit down and be quiet? Because it's uncomfortable for you? Because everything is different now because of what your friend did? Like, that sucks. But
yeah, because you're actually having consequences of like standing by someone who did some really inappropriate things. And now we know that he knew about it the whole time, right?
The whole time. He was like their safe place was like his apartment. So
oh my gosh.
To me, you're just as guilty as the other two. You're just as bad.
If I was Ariana, Ariana told him that she doesn't want to be friends with him anymore just because he's still friends with Sandoval. If I were Ariana after finding that out, I'd be like, I just don't ever want to be your friend. Like, you knew.
It doesn't even. Yeah, you. And if you knew something like that, it's definitely not Schwartz's place to tell Ariana, but like,
right. But
we know whose responsibility it is to tell her, but like,
and you're literally facilitating it, so maybe it is your responsibility.
That's a good point.
You kind of have to pick. You kind of have to pick, honestly. Like, who are you going to back here? And he did pick, and he picked the wrong one.
Yeah. Well, and I just don't see on any planet where Schwartz can give anybody any advice because he's a man-child. He is not fit to give any advice other than like, what's a good beer to drink? Right. And that's probably not even good advice.
So, big question, do we feel bad for Sandoval?
No, not at all.
I hope that he gets like whatever help he needs for sure dealing with his emotions. I do hope that, but like,
I do think it points
he just needs
to like
find a new group of friends and like give up on the show. Join the other one. What's the other
Winter
spin-off?
House?
No, the one with Jax and Brittany.
Oh,
that's coming out. Hop onto that one.
That would be preferred. I would love to see Jax just eat him alive day after day, and them argue over who's the number one guy in the group.
Yes.
No, I don't feel bad for Sandoval, but I do think our society's cancel culture is out of control. Like, absolutely, Raquel and Tom are the worst. They suck. But it is insane the extent of, I can't imagine some of the stuff that's been said to them, even to their face, not even just on the internet. So, no, I don't feel bad for them, but I think our society is archaic.
I agree. Like, some people just take it so freaking far. Like, you should never be telling someone to like hurt themselves or anything
Mhm.
like that. And yeah, it's almost like that is par for the course now. If
Yeah.
anything, like this, you do the smallest thing wrong in the public spotlight, and
Yeah.
that's kind of wild.
And I think no one is ever gonna see his tears as anything other than crocodile tears because of the shitstorm that he created. Like, it's gonna be really hard for people to see past what he did, I
And
think.
just get out of the house too. Like,
Yeah,
stop
it's
trying to
the
buy her
decent
out.
thing to do, but also, I do think it's a little petty. If I was Ariana, I
I
would
agree.
wanna get the hell out of there, you know?
I agree. Give
I
you
think
enough
that's just, like,
money.
all she has to hang on to at this point, because like,
And
everything
she
else
probably likes
is
her house.
well, their house is gorgeous, like,
Yeah.
it's so cute, and they it's crazy because in the when they first got it, everybody was, like, judging them for, like, not having furniture and stuff, and
Oh yeah, I forgot.
like, they had, like, lawn chairs and stuff, and
Yeah.
now it's like their house is really cute, and yeah, that sucks that you have to start over, but, like, you both need to start over. Like, why would you wanna there's not enough sage on the planet to
Right.
get the demons out of that house. Like, let that be somebody else's problem.
We're getting a Tortured Poets department.
Mhm.
TS11, and I will
it
say, the day of, I called it. When I saw the white dress at the Grammys, I called it.
Yes, you did. You really did. I am concerned for myself because this album is about to be sad.
Oh, it's gonna be hard. Like, I feel like I have to take April 20th off, and then people are gonna think it's so that I can smoke weed, and that's not it. Like,
No.
I just need to bask in the
I
sadness.
just need to be
It's a
sad.
mental health day.
It's absolutely a mental health day.
Actually, like,
Yeah.
legit, I might take it off.
I really think it's necessary. Like, I wanna sit in, like, a sad place. Like, I don't wanna just be in my house. Like, we need to make a whole thing of this. We need to
Oh,
be
yeah.
somewhere sad where we can listen to it
We have
and be
caves here.
sad.
Maybe we, like, go sit in a cave.
That's a great point. I think that would be and just, like, dance around it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
'Cause
Like Willow?
I always thought Joe Alwyn seemed like a dickhead, if I'm being
Wait.
honest.
Wait. Is it Alwyn or is it Alwyn?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I'm really bad about pronouncing things wrong, so don't take my word for it. What did I even say?
You said Alwyn.
And what do you
Which
think
it might
is?
be. I think I've just heard Alwyn,
Oh. Oh, yeah.
but I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I constantly pronounce things wrong. It's a problem. We have a client who I pronounced their last name to them, mispronounced it to them on the phone once, and I was just like as soon as I said it, I was like, that's not how you say it. But I can't it ends in it ends in ger, but I always say jur.
Well, that's an easy mix-up, I think.
No.
No.
Not when they've been your client for almost 4 years and you've
Okay.
known them for a long time. Like,
Woof, yeah.
it's not okay. Yeah, it's bad. But
It's like you calling me Hanan.
yeah, I'm gonna call you
My
that.
mom did not know my last name. For everyone listening, like, I just recently got married, so, like, that has something to do with it, but still, like, she was
What
at
the
my
fuck?
wedding. She was at my wedding. We're friends on Facebook. How do you not know my last name? Mom? Mom, are you listening?
Did she just come up to you one day and like, what is your name? Like, how did you find out that she didn't know?
Oh, no, what it was is we were all my brother paid for this like background check thing because we were looking into someone. I can't remember who it was. And then we started putting our entire family's like names into it.
That's hilarious.
And my mom like kind of paused when she was going to say my name, and I'm like, wait a minute, do you not know my name? And she thought it was Hannah. And it's Hannon.
It's very clearly Hannon. Like,
right.
It's not, there's only a few letters in the last name.
It's not complicated. She was at my wedding. Like, it was all over the signs.
And also, like, don't they say that? like the Mr. and Mrs. Hannon. Like that's like
like a few times they said that.
Several times.
So that's fun.
Did your I know our robes and slippers said our first names. Did yours say your first name or did it say your last
name? The robe said just my first name, and then the little slippers had Mrs. Hannon on it.
Yeah, like it's like almost as embarrassing as the photographer showing up to your wedding and being like, "What's everybody's names?" And we're like, "It's literally plastered every fucking place on our bodies. You should just read." Just open your goddamn eyes.
And I love how you told him, what did you say, no name or something? Maybe that's why my brother almost fought him.
He should have. He was an asshole. Like, do you remember when he gave you like attitude because you had mustard on your robe? And like, you're like, he can edit that out.
Yeah, what was I, like 6 months pregnant? Like, let me have a sandwich, dude, on my wedding day.
We're in a tiny shack for the day, okay? There is 18 of us in this 150 square foot shed. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I think I told him my name was No Name.
Yeah, and then that was the only thing you remembered. He didn't remember any of our names. It was just No. He was like, "Come here, No Name."
He like bossed me around. Like, you have an assistant. Her dress is see-through. Did anybody notice that? I don't know if you got to see that.
I did not. I was a little just like, preoccupied
getting married.
So I didn't notice. But that is funny.
It was one of the talks
and slightly
among the guests.
Like, I don't care, but I mean, some people are very like traditional.
I don't think she realized. Like she
like the fabric
could not have realized it. Well, and it was black, so it's like I don't think people think of black being see-through, but like we've all had that pair of leggings that is just not meant to be stretched, and so it was like a stretchy
away.
It was a stretchy fabric, and it just. And here's the thing, you didn't see it unless she walked into the sunlight, and then it was like clear as day, just ass. Just. It was actually.
Well, at least my guest got a show as well.
I was going to say it was one of my favorite parts of the wedding was just like looking at different people when she would walk by and just being like, did they notice? Yep, I see them looking at her butt. Like, we all collectively experienced that.
Did I ever tell you that when my brother so for those listening, my brother was going to fight the photographer because the photographer signed up to do a certain amount of hours. He was supposed to leave at a certain time, which was before the wedding was over, and we had agreed to that, and I was fine with that. And when he was going to leave, he asked me if we wanted to get like a couple more photos of like the exit and stuff, and we kind of had to pick what we wanted to do because he only had like 15 minutes left. And my brother had been drinking and got a little aggressive with him and accused him of doing cocaine in the bathroom because he thought my brother's friend told my brother that he looked like he would do cocaine, and my brother in his drunk state took that as he did do cocaine. So my brother's I
never knew that connection. I just like believed your brother and was like, yeah, the photographer is doing drugs in the bathroom.
I also
fully believed him.
And I was like, whatever, I don't care if he's doing drugs in the bathroom. Like, he's still signed up to leave at this time.
Yeah, and we cannot force him to stay.
Right.
Like, so I do remember your brother being like, no, he can stay longer. I don't care.
Yeah, he has to stay longer because he's doing drugs in the bathroom. Like, no, Webster.
Yeah, he used up his time.
So, right. So, yeah, the next day, Webster, or it wasn't the next day, it was like the next week or something, but Webster told me that he misunderstood the situation.
That is hilarious. So did the photographer hear him? Because I don't remember. I was also drinking. Did the photographer hear him say that?
Webster was trying to like whisper it to me, but he was not being quiet. So. He was not being quiet. So I think the photographer did hear, and the photographer's just like, And I told the photographer, it's fine. And I'm in the state of thinking that he is doing the cocaine in the bathroom.
You're like, it's fine. You're really fine.
You're doing his job. So I don't care.
Like he got his stuff done, Webster. Let him be.
Right. I'm not his mom. As long as he's taking the pictures, I'm okay with it. But yeah, I just thought that was funny that Webster was he was obvious.
Wow. That I never knew that part of the story, and that makes it even better. Really does. Truly.
So are we still getting Reputation? When are we getting it? So I think February. I'm hoping.
I am not feeling hopeful about February.
I don't feel like it financially would make sense to her, so that's the thing that's really holding me up. But what's up with the black nail? We still have the black nail on the 2, and I don't think that the black nail is for Tortured Poets Department. I think the color for Tortured Poets Department is white. She even put a little white heart on her caption for it when she released the track list because they leaked that day. Yeah. It's like, the black is not the color. Why do we have a black nail on the teacup at 2?
Well, it'd be too confusing. Like, she can't have 2 albums have black be the color.
I think we're still getting it in February, or I'm at least ever so slightly hopeful.
I am just gonna lose it. But I mean, Reputation is about Joe.
And full circle.
Tortured Poets
is about
Joe. So I would think it would be really smart of her to release them like back to back.
Because it's the beginning of Joe and the end of Joe.
Right. So
it's like a big full circle thing.
Yes. And I just want to know like how much we need to hate him. Because like we're down, Tay. We're ready. We just need to know how much.
It's going to be an emotional roller coaster, I think, on April 19th to 20th.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to get Reputation before Tortured Poets, but I do think we will get it the first half of this year.
Okay.
That's about as much as I'm letting my heart, like, because otherwise I'm just going to be so disappointed.
The ups and downs with it, what was it, the day when we all thought we were getting Rep? At her last day of the tour, was it 11/27 or something? I think.
I'm excited for this new album, but I wanted Reputation. We all wanted Reputation,
and I feel like she's toying with us at this point. Like she's building it up.
Correct.
She knows how much we want it.
How many albums did she release last year, or re-release?
I think she's doing 2 a year.
That is nuts.
It is. And some of them are re-records, so it's going to be like,
but still,
I feel like a slap in the face to us when she's out of re-records. Because, like,
yeah,
we're getting these little, like, tidbits, like little snacks almost to hold us over until the meal of the new album.
Exactly.
And we're just going to be so hungry when the re-records are done. It's just famished.
We've gotten too lucky these last few years with her doing that, and like the vault tracks on 1989, are you kidding me?
So good.
I can't imagine how good the Reputation ones are going to be. You're
losing
so
me
exciting.
Too.
Oh my god.
The
saddest song to ever be written. That was her surprise song.
Yes, in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, those lucky ducks.
I know. And that song will make me cry as soon as it starts. Like I don't even have to hear a word. I just will cry.
It's so
just
good.
Tears. Oh, I just don't know if I'm prepared for a whole album of that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we really got to make sure we got our shit together.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your therapy appointment scheduled. It's going to be a doozy.
I should do some extra therapy in those couple days.
Even if all you do is talk about Taylor. For reference to the audience, I have 2 female dogs. Neither of them have been fixed. So it's really just a toss-up when you come to my house. Like, who's going to be on their period? Amber or one of the dogs? It's always one of us, though. Like, those odds.
Also, when we say the audience, we mean just our our moms, really.
Yeah. My mom doesn't know how to use a podcast app, so it's just Tori's mom. It's just our mom. She's our mom now.
Also, I just saw one of our notes here and I got excited.
Oh, good.
Should we get into peach pits versus pit in the stomach?
I was really not sure where you were going for a second when you started that sentence. Like, I didn't even remember this conversation. Yes, I think you should definitely introduce this question to the audience, aka mom.
So I saw a TikTok the other day, and I can't remember the creator's name, but I will put it in the show notes. But she just kind of, not just casually, just kind of nonchalantly brought up, when you say you have a pit in your stomach, are you thinking like a peach or an avocado pit, like just kind of hanging out in there? Or are you thinking like this pit, like a black hole void type situation? Where do you land, Amber?
I just don't know how any sane person could picture a peach or avocado pit, Tori.
Okay, well.
I just, the only answer is a void. Like,
that is insane. Like, there's one that
we are so divided on this.
There's one that could actually happen, and then a void. What is going on in there?
But when you say like, I have a pit in my stomach, it's a void. Like, it baffles me that there's any other option.
So I feel like it really got me messed up too, because my whole life, I just assumed everyone thought it the same way as me, and now I'm realizing that there's this giant divide on pits and stomachs.
Yeah,
and the carpet's kind of been pulled out from under me here.
We should start a note of like weird assumptions. You know, like what are some weird? That's a really weird assumption. Like that everyone just. But I feel like I do that a lot. Like, I just assume. I think it's just human nature, because you want to feel like not weird or like an outsider.
It.
It's amazing.
Like, someone said pit. I feel like I have a pit in my stomach to me one time. Yeah, and I was like, and we've been thinking about it differently my whole life. 34
so totally
almost years.
I just can't wait to hear more people's opinion on this, because that will be interesting.
Yes, let us know. We will put our email too. We'll call out our email, I guess, at the end of this here, and then people can send us stuff. Also, if there's any other weird assumptions, let us know.
Please send weird assumptions. We need Tori is the queen of starting shared notes, and my storage is full because of it, but they are really helpful. So I'm just going to buy more storage.
Yeah, just a little tidbit. I think your storage might be full because of the iPhone
Don't even.
8 that you're still working with.
Listen, this thing is a beauty.
Did that thing come with
she's
like
beauty and
three
she's grace
gigs on it?
It's like 1.5.
I believe it.
Yeah. It's never worked, if I'm being honest. Like, I got this phone and it was outdated, like, because it was the last one with the home button. I refused to not have the home button, but now I have to, because only my front facing camera works now. So
and the charging issue.
The charger is questionable. It's kind of just a fun little game that I play. Will it charge? Will it turn back on? Sometimes it's taken like a couple of hours to turn back on.
Will the Apple logo just forever be on the screen?
It'll just like keep turning on and turning off and turning on and turning off, and it's just like, oh, is it gonna work? And then it turns off again. So
that's fun.
Stay tuned. Maybe I'll get a new phone. Maybe I won't.
Brian,
maybe I'll go back to a flip phone.
Oh, there you go. That would be kind of relieving.
Yeah, I'm so tired of carrying around a smartphone. Like, there's way too many ways for people to contact me. It's too people-y.
I think we've done pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think this was good.
I'm just gonna say, follow us on TikTok at Out of Touch Moments. And our email, if you want to email us, is outoftouchcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
And bye.
Bye.